A father with 11 kids to four different women says he's not a deadbeat dad who owes thousands in child support, according to the Daily Mail. Just wow, like this headline alone, like oh my god. So a dad of 11 has said he's not a deadbeat dad and admitted struggling to pay the thousands of dollars in child support he owes his ex-wife. Maybe you should have learned to like wrap it up, maybe with a trash bag at least, because like, dude, four different women, 11 kids, you didn't learn your lesson. Donna McBaron says Dara Whitting owes her many years worth of payments she needs to help provide for their three teenage sons. But the 62-year-old who lives on a Townsville property in far north Queensland in a converted bus has explained he just doesn't have the cash after fathering children to four different women. I rang them, the child support agency, at Christmas time and said, "Do you realize I will never be able to pay this?" Mr. Whitting told a current affair. They said, "Well, we will get it out of you one way or another." And I just said, "Well, mate, I am going to die owing the most child support ever." Now in a new relationship with a woman who is 32 years younger, his brood ranges from adults in their 40s to a 4-month-old baby. "I'm not a deadbeat dad," he said, "but I've been accused of it by Donna for months and months and months." Mr. Whitting said the child support payments he owes were based on his earnings from a successful business, which he doesn't own anymore. To make up for the part of the money owed, he claims he has been paying his ex-wife $150 every month since they separated 15 years ago. Mr. Whitting provided a history of transactions to the Nine program dating back to March showing the money being handed over. "I don't pay the child support industry, I pay it into her bank account," he said before admitting, "I suppose I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed when it comes to things like that." Meanwhile, Miss McBaron says she is also struggling to make ends meet and relies on charity and good people just to put food on the table. Well, that's also another issue because regardless if he's a deadbeat or not, you still need to be able to put yourself in a position to provide for your kids. Like, that is the responsibility of the parent. The former hairdresser said she has been forced to quit her job to care for her sons as two of their teenagers have special needs. "We've done without everything. There's everything broken in the house that needs fixing," she said. "Clothes, groceries, I've not been able to go and do a grocery shop like normal people, for I could not tell you how long. Rely on charity and good people." Dun, 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 dun. Interesting. Let's see the comments. That'd be pretty interesting to read. What kind of woman would marry a man who doesn't support any of his kids and then has a baby with him? Hmm. He may not own the business anymore, but the kids are still his. He is old enough to understand birth control, so too bad, so sad, find a way to pay. And here's the thing, I agree he needs to pay his child support duties, right? That being said, regardless if he pays it or not, the mom needs to put herself in a position to where she can afford to take care of her kids. Has he not heard about a vasectomy? Apparently not. And women are being blamed, he needs to be fixed. But here's also another thing, too. All these other women probably should have known, like, hey, maybe this isn't the right guy if he keeps constantly having kids with other women and he's not really paying the child support. Yeah, deadbeat dad. I'd be ashamed to even be seen with him. Never mind be married to him. He has spawned 11 kids, 2 special needs, and has not been fixed. I see a lot of comments calling for his vasectomy, and I don't disagree at all. We're the cause for the sterilization of women in the welfare system that keep having kids or that keep complaining they can't afford their kids. There are so many guys that shouldn't be allowed to procreate, but the same can be said for many women. Why the double standard? So here's the thing, and like in terms of like this comment, right? So like a person's story for those that end up like stumbling upon this. A family member told me this story about when they were in church. So they were in church, and apparently this kid in their church went to the pastor or like basically prayed out loud and was like, God, can you please close my mother's legs so she doesn't get pregnant again? And this is like apparently a young kid, right? Because this kid's mother constantly kept getting new kids with new fathers to basically get like a welfare check for each new kid. Like it's like a really, really screwed up situation. And it got so bad that one of her kids literally prayed to God that she would stop procreating through the power of God. Like it's like a crazy thing, right? Like there are some people that need to like basically learn like, hey, maybe sleeping with people and having more kids is not a good idea. So stupidity is not limited to the US. How did he pay for the wedding and all that stuff? They know how to hide money, so he's got it somewhere. He must be gifted because he sure isn't good looking. The definition of a deadbeat dad. Guess he can't afford condoms either. He's a loser. He thinks he is being slick by paying money directly to her and bypassing child support. Newsflash, buddy. If child support laws over there are anything like in America, you will owe that money to the state for the rest of your life and even after you die. That's pretty dark. Let's see more comments. Ba-ba-ba. Money spent on condoms is money well spent. Mm-hmm. It must be something else besides his looks. My daughter found out after she was an adult that she has 13 illegitimate brothers by her father. What? What? What the hell? What kind of comment is that? My daughter, this is from Tina, my daughter found out after she was an adult that she has 13 illegitimate brothers by her father. Like, dudes, wrap it up. Stop procreating with random people. Dear Lord. Like, I don't understand that at all. That is some like risky, risky business. If you want to learn how to get a debt and master your money, go to 40inbox.com because one thing's for sure. You do not want to be paying child support, and if you are, you gotta manage your money so well because that is going to eat into your budget like crazy.